I thought you did a good job of checking in with the kids when you were representing their thinking. Is this how you saw it? You just didn't do it and move on. You kind of checked in with them, and because then I think it was who saw the 9 dots again. Eli that because you kind of did it a funky way first, and he was like, no, that's not how I, but you checked in with them, is this how I did it? And then he was able to say, no, it was this way.
That was a really cool moment because you circled someone aside, and the other kids were like, no, like multiple kids were like, no, he means this.
Yeah.
That's how they were all thinking about his idea.
Thinking. Yeah.
Now, did I get this right? Is this what you were thinking? Is this how you were making sense of it? Really positions kids as you want to know their idea. And you want their idea to be public and to be represented. And they will, like, no, that is not what I meant, right? And when they're telling you that's not what I meant, the advocacy that they have to be able to know, like, no, it's my right that you're going to get it right. Like, that's not how I saw it, right? And so I think it's really, that was really lovely that you kept asking that question too, right? It's a great question that all of us can keep practicing.
I always wonder what's the moment when I should turn the paper over, because some of them will start thinking that, like, oh yeah, this is what I thought I saw, but now that I'm looking at it, here's how I'm seeing it and making sense of it, which is great. But I also want to know, like, when you initially saw it, what was that thinking?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I will give them whiteboards and ask them to, like, try out what were you thinking. Like, show on the whiteboard, what did you see? And to get at that, so you get, like, the very, like, right there raw ideas of what it was they were thinking before they get to see the image.
Which, if any of you are wanting to think about that or try that, we have whiteboards for the kiddos. Think about that, play with that idea, and wonder about it. As we think about our upcoming choral counts and quick images, are there questions we have? Are there things we're wondering about that we might be able to help each other with? Diana, you're on for tomorrow.
Yeah, since I don't
things you're thinking about?
have the rehearsal time, but the one thing I wanted to do today, and I'll just get feedback from you guys, the kids have been shown this way all week, and I was putting this away yesterday, but putting away this way. Would it confuse them? Would it change their thinking? Would it take them off? I don't know. Here, I'll do this. Any feedback, thoughts?
It's a sequence, but how do you want that?
Should I keep it this way because that's what we've been doing?
Try it.
You want to try it this way?
I think try it.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting. Because I think we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I think that they can see either what might be interesting is, do they see the orientation across, like,
Or down.
or do they see down?
Yeah.
Or do they see the 4 groups of 5, like from the earlier image in the week, and then 2 more groups of 5?
That's right.
Yeah.
Seconds. So I'm going to show you the first picture, and I'm going to show you for 3 seconds. Then I'm going to put it down. Then what are you guys going to do when I put that picture down?
We're going to see if we can count how many dots.
You're going to see if you can count how many dots.
And remember how many there was on that piece of paper.
And remember how many were on that piece of paper. What happens, Vivi, if you don't remember how many was on that piece of paper the first time?
You get to do it the second time.
Then I'm going to show it to you a second time so that you can check your work or maybe revise your thinking.
I just saw it was 30.
We're going to keep our thinking inside, okay? All right, here we go. 3 seconds. Remember, keep that thinking inside. Give me a quiet thumbs up when you have your answer. Okay, guys ready?
I know.
Okay, so just think. Keep it inside. Keep it inside. Okay. Give me a quiet thumbs up if you have an answer or you need to see that picture again. Peyton, you ready to see it again? Vivi, you ready to see it again? Okay, here we go, second time.
I know.
Here we go. Okay. Keep that thinking inside still. Now here's where your challenge is going to come, okay? We're not going to say what the answer is. Instead, you guys are going to have to draw your answer, okay? So I'm going to be giving you a whiteboard, okay? When I give that to you, I want you to put it down right in front of you on the carpet for me, okay? Keep that answer in your head. Actually, we pass those back. Okay. Remember how the last couple of days, Miss Julie did it yesterday. She was circling your thinking, the groups that you saw. I want you to do that as well. So see if you can show your thinking on that whiteboard. All right, off you go. No, you can't see. Think. What pattern did you see? What pattern did you see? I see the first pattern there.
I just thought about it. 6 out of 5. Okay. That 5, 10 days. So what I see.
Okay, that's okay. What did you see?
No, I don't get what you're saying.
So I heard some really great thinking.
There was 5 6s. I said that there was 5 6s. So then I counted 5, and then I counted by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 6 times, and then my answer got to 30, and then I wrote 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 30.
So what I did is, when she first flashed it, I saw 6 5s, and so I counted 2 5s, 2 5s, and then I counted 2 5s plus 2 5s plus 2 5s, and then I knew that'd make 30.
Good job today, you guys, with that mathematician work today.
I was thinking a lot about the quick image today, and in terms of orienting students to one another and how powerful the whiteboard was. Was really awesome. Yes. Like, because we've done turn-in talks in the quick images, right? And they've shared strategies with each other, but what I was noticing that whiteboard added was that then they were asking questions about one another's thinking. Like all of a sudden, as I heard like a couple of different groups say, well, what was that? Or why here? And like there was a thing to point to and a thing to look at while listening to their partner. And I just feel like it helped them really actually make sense of their partner's thinking in a different way versus sometimes they turn and talk and each person shares and I'm not really sure how much sense was made in terms of they heard it, but how much did they really understand? And listening to Elliot and Eli and like there were a couple of different partnerships that were like thoughtfully asking questions back and forth about one another's representations, and it was super interesting to watch. Yeah.
And I noticed too with the whiteboards that for the first time Eli really got his thinking across, because all week I feel like when it's math time he's been trying to express his thinking, but he hasn't quite figured out how to do that. And this time I noticed that he was just very clear. It helped him make it more clear for himself.
Well, and I think it was such a beautiful moment too, because you were like, come up, like he kind of stood up and you're like, no, come on, like come on up here. Like it really just positioned him too in this beautiful space. That was a great move to be like, oh, get in.
But I think one of the things too is it comes up asking them to use the whiteboards. That is a completely different skill than what while we've been doing quick images every day. To see it and to find out how many there are is a task in and of itself. But to see it, find out how many there are, and then represent it myself is something completely different. And so they took that up.
And it was interesting because Joy Lynn was like, I don't remember. And I said, well, think about what did you see? And so she drew the 5, I said, well, what else did she, and then it clicked and then she was just like off and drew it. So.
And I think what you're saying about it, that kind of changing the nature of the task, right? And like with positive effects, and then also that you're losing something too, right? So it sort of depends on what your goal is for that moment, I think, for sure, like whether or not to use whiteboards. Natalie brought up movement. For me, quick images is usually something that I want to go really quickly. And I find when I have 26 kids, the whiteboard thing is a little bit tricky to manage sometimes, and so I find myself not doing it. Now I'm like, ooh, I want to make time for that. Like, that was really interesting. I'm going to try it a different way as well.
In the same way that it can become an artifact to look at somebody else's, it can also become a complete distraction, and now I have this thing to busy me, and I'm going to stop listening to everybody else. So all these decisions.
Yeah, I wondered about that too. I wondered what it would have been like if we had used the whiteboards like Monday or Tuesday. Right. I feel like they had enough practice with quick images that it was the perfect time.
Yeah.
I was interested to see. I was kind of waiting for it to happen at some point this week, and it hadn't yet. When Kylan saw your picture like this.
Oh yeah. I don't know how.
It's always a really interesting thing. No, I think you did really well. It's something that always will happen, right?
Yeah.
When someone skips ahead in the thinking because they can see something, or like they saw what you covered up on the board or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And so he said the number out loud, and you said, let's remember to keep that. I think you didn't. I make a big deal of it. It wasn't a big show. It was just a really quick little reminder.
I think one of the things we watched that video of. Again, it was a different task, right? It was quick images of the kindergarten video Stephanie Latimer a few weeks ago, right? Where she had the 10 frame, and it was with the magnets on the 10 frame. And one of the kids in that video go, it's 8 again. Right? And it's a different task because she was only doing different ways to make 8 than this task. But like her response was, it is 8. So I wonder about how do you know it's 8? Right? So if it's something, especially like Raydell's saying, like if you sometimes do a sequence of quick images, a couple of them at one time where they happen to be the same number, that's especially a case where kids are going to blurt it out. Like, you're trying to trick us, but we know. And that it's like, okay, maybe you do know what the number is. I'm really curious about how you know that's the number. It's another way.
Yeah.